Hey, I'm Brett Larkin. This video has been requested. Marima wrote into me through my Facebook page and she asked for some book recommendations. I could not be more thrilled to be making this video, and I got so excited I actually have divided this video into two. So in this video I'm going to be talking about the spiritual philosophical yoga books that I love and recommend, and in the second installment of this video, which is going to appear on CureJoy's channel, I'm going to talk about the books I recommend that are more about the physical asana postures. So be sure to subscribe to both my channel and CureJoy's channel, where I'm doing a lot of stuff these days as well. Please note that I am presenting these books in priority order. So I actually recently moved apartments. You might see me here in a new space. So I had to think very long and hard about which books I wanted to donate and which ones I wanted to keep. So this video couldn't come in at a better time because I've actually really thought about the books that mean the most to me and how I'd prioritize them. Number one, we have Eastern Body, Western Mind. This is probably my favorite yoga book. It's so hard to choose favorites, but this book is so amazing. This book is all about the chakras and how chakras and psychology and kind of the physical asana practice of yoga all intersect. You will learn so much about yourself by reading this book, and you'll just get a way more comprehensive understanding of the chakras than really you could anywhere else, because she breaks down and she talks about how they manifest in birth, childhood, adulthood. This is so interesting. So if you're into psychology, this is an absolute must read. I've highlighted stuff everywhere. I feel like I had so many epiphanies about myself and my own personality through reading this book. Number two, Inside the Yoga Sutras. Now, you can't really consider yourself a yogi if you haven't read the Yoga Sutras, or at least on that philosophical, deeper yoga level. So you want to read the Yoga Sutras. And there's so many translations, and you may get confused about which translation to read. And I'm going to recommend this one, which is kind of surprising because it is written by a reverend, and I can't even remember how this particular copy got recommended to me. But again, we'll open it up. We'll see I have highlights everywhere. And what I really loved about this translation, besides it just being, easy to read and a great translation with a lot of notes in it, is that the author, because he's a reverend, is really able to compare the Yoga Sutras to a lot of other religions. So you kind of get this cool historical context, and I really love that because it made me realize that so much of what the Yoga Sutras are teaching us show up in so many other different religions. So he talks a lot about Christianity, but he talks about other religions too. And, for me, that was really fascinating because it just shows how, huge these values are and that they show up in other religions. And even though yoga is not a religion, okay, that didn't work. I really love this because there's a translation of each sutra, and then there's a commentary on each sutra, and he also explains how each word can be translated. So you can also kind of invent your own translations. The Secret Power of Yoga. Now, the title is completely irrelevant because even though this book is called The Secret Power of Yoga, it's actually just a women's translation of the Yoga Sutras. What do I mean by that? It is a female-centered or female-focused translation of the Yoga Sutras. And I really, really love what the author did. You can look her up. She's great. What she does is she translates the Yoga Sutras in her own special way that kind of resonates to her as a woman. You may think this sounds strange. It's actually awesome. She just takes a lot of the Yoga Sutras, which you may already know, and she just makes them so much more heartfelt. And I really love just, again, the feminine perspective she brings onto the words. The cool thing about Sanskrit and the Yoga Sutras, right, is that there's so many different translations for each word. So, translating them is very subjective. The translator can choose, one word might mean several different things. So her translation is it's really special. I really can't recommend this book highly enough. I mean, it's number 3 on my list. Book number 4 is A Woman's Book of Yoga. Sorry guys, I feel like there's a lot of women-centered books in my countdown here. This book is written by the woman who was my first Kundalini yoga teacher in New York, and it has recipes in it. It's so fantastic. You can see where I actually have sticky notes here where some of these recipes are so ingrained into my mind that, I haven't looked at the book in so long, but I'm still making so many of the recipes that she has in here. This book is really just a go-to if you're a woman and you're into yoga. It talks about meditation, it talks about Kundalini, it talks about breathing techniques, it gives you all these cool recipes you can try and do. Really, really recommend. Number 5, last but not least, is A Path with Heart. This is written by a very famous Jack Kornfield meditation teacher who's really well renowned. And it's a long book, okay? I'm not gonna lie. It might take you a while to get through, and it has really tiny print, so hopefully you can get it on Kindle, or maybe there's a newer edition that's a little more user-friendly. All this being said, I really remember reading this book when I was starting my yoga journey, and it gave me some huge insights. So it may be a struggle to get through the whole thing, but there are a couple key chapters where he talks about, here it is, chapter 7. He talks about naming the demons, and what that means is he helps you identify the negative voices and demons in your head and mind and name them, and he has a whole chapter on that. And that's kind of the chapter I remember really being life-changing for me when I was initially reading this, because it made me realize that there were so many voices in my head that weren't me, and somehow by naming them, it really took a lot of power away from the voice, and helps you bring in that yogic awareness, right? That I am not what I think, I am not the voices in my head, all that good stuff. And the tagline of the book is a guide through the perils and promises of the spiritual life. And I'd actually say it's not even the spiritual life, just life, if you want to be a normal, sane, happy person. So I really recommend this one, especially if you are someone who is more interested in the psychology of yoga and using yoga to really enhance your personal development. Okay, so those were my 5 favorite yoga books on the philosophy, kind of spiritual side. Make sure to tune in to part 2 of this video, which will come out on CureJoy's channel. So make sure to subscribe to their channel as well as mine. And I'll of course be alerting you guys by email if you're signed up for my email list, which hopefully you are on my website at brettlarkin.com. If you just opt into my free Yoga for Abs class or sign up for my weekly newsletter, you'll for sure get notification soon. And in video 2, I'll talk about the books I recommend for doing the physical asana practice. Remember, yoga is not just the physical asana practice, and that's why I'm so glad that I got to film this video for you, because it really is about bringing the practice into our daily life, whether it's to enhance our personal development, our relationship with our families, just make us less angry, help us recover from an injury. Whatever is going on with you, yoga can help and make it better, and the philosophy is so, so powerful. So let me know in the comments below if you want to see more videos like these where I talk about sort of philosophy, or just kind of go into my home library or home resources. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and again, comment below if you want to see more like this. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll see you next time. From my heart to yours. Namaste.